Hello everyone, got 5 dirty jokes for you today. So one day, there were 2 boys playing by a river. One boy went over to the bush to check out some noises. He pointed out an undressed woman bathing in the stream. So, both boys decided to stay and watch her. All of a sudden, the second boy took off running. The first boy couldn't understand why he ran away, so he took off after his friend. Finally, he caught up to him and asked his friend why he had run away. The second boy said to his friend, "My mom told me that if I ever saw a naked lady, I'd turn to stone. I felt something getting hard, so I ran." So a man walked into the bar and saw an old friend of his drinking by himself. Approaching his friend, he commented, "You look awful. What's wrong?" "My mother died in May and left me $15,000, the friend answered. "Boy, that's tough," the man replied. Continuing, the friend said, "Then in June, my dad died leaving me $50,000. Gosh, both parents gone in such a short period of time." "No wonder you're depressed," said the man. "Last month my aunt died and left me $10,000, the friend added. "That's a lot to deal with. Losing 3 close family members in 3 months is terrible," replied the man. "Then this month," continued the friend, "nothing. Not even a single dime." So once upon a time, the government had a vast scrapyard in the middle of a desert. Congress said, someone may steal from it at night. So they created a night watchman position and hired a person for the job. Then Congress said, how does the watchman do his job without instruction? So they created a planning department and hired 2 people, 1 person to write the instructions and 1 person to do time studies. Then Congress said, how will we know the night watchman is doing his tasks correctly? So they created the quality control department and hired 2 people, 1 to do the studies and 1 to write the reports. Then Congress said, how are these people going to get paid? So they created a timekeeper and a payroll officer position. Then hired 2 people. Then Congress said, who will be accountable for all of these people? So they created an administrative section and hired 3 people, an administrative officer, assistant administrative officer, and a legal secretary. Then Congress said, we have had this command in operation for 1 year and we are $18,000 over budget. We must cut back overall cost. So they laid off the night watchman. So 2 old ladies go visit their friend Mary. They sit down and after a while Mary says, how foolish of me. I haven't even offered you coffee. So she gets up and gets the coffee. Some time later, old Mary says, how foolish of me. I haven't even offered you coffee. So again she gets the coffee. Half an hour later, the scene repeats for the 3rd time. Finally, the 2 ladies say goodbye. Mary is acting really weird, don't you think? Says the first one. All the time we spent there, she hasn't even offered us coffee. The second one looks at her in amazement. What? You've been to see Mary, and you haven't even invited me. So a lady walks into a bar and sees a really cute guy sitting at the counter. She goes over and asks him what he is drinking. Magic beer, he says. She thinks he's a little crazy, so she walks around the bar, but after noticing that there is no one else worth talking to, she goes back to the man sitting at the bar and says, that isn't really magic beer, is it? Yes, I'll show you. He takes a drink of the beer, jumps out the window, flies around the building 3 times, and comes back through the window. The lady can't believe it. I bet you can't do that again. Oh yay. He smirks. He takes another drink of beer, jumps out the window, flies around the building 3 times, and comes back through the window. She is amazed and immediately asks for a magic beer of her own. The guy says to the bartender, "Give her one of what I'm having." She gets her drink, takes a gulp of the beer, jumps out the window, and immediately plummets 30 stories down. The bartender looks at the guy and sighs, "You know something, Superman? You're a real asshole when you're drinking."